Okay, we're live, and I'm going to go ahead and start the meeting because it's 9 o'clock. This is the Lake Advisory Board meeting, January the 28th, and we'll stand and do the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll go ahead and say the prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for the privilege of living in a nation that allows people to come together and work together to make our community a better place. Thank you for this group of citizens serving on the Lake Board. Please guide our thought processes as we make decisions in protecting and preserving our lake and water resources. Unite us in a common goal to do what is right for our community. We thank you and praise you for your guidance. Through Jesus' name, amen. Do the roll call. I think
she can call in just on phone too, on somebody's cell phone, and we can put a microphone. Okay.
So roll call. I think we have a quorum of 4.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to call names? Or
sure,
no?
That would be great.
Okay. Mark McCoy. Dean Stryler. Shane Wood.
Here.
Deb McCoy.
Here.
Harold Martin. Shane Johnston.
Here.
And David Stewart.
Yes, and I've got Nancy on the phone.
Nancy, okay.
Can you hear us, Nancy?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And Catherine Harrington is our city commissioner. She is not able to be here today, and we appreciate you being here, Mark. Thank you.
Oh, here she is.
I'm sorry.
Catherine's not going to be here. Is your mic on?
Huh?
Is your mic on?
I thought it was.
Your red light on?
Yeah, hold it for a second. There you go.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Can you hear now, Nancy?
Can you hear Nancy?
Yeah, not very well.
Here, switch
anyway, carry on, guys.
Yep, be like right up into it.
Yeah, I get coffee and she took it. All right, can you hear me now? First of all, we'd like to welcome you, Katie. Do you go by Katie? Katie. Harrington. And we ask you to be our eyes and ears on the commission and let us know when there is anything pertaining to the lake that is on the agenda. We appreciate your serving. The new business is positioning of new and repositioning of old docks. And Doug, do you want to talk about that?
So the commission voted on the floating docks. So the 2 that are up by the boat ramp. Alright, I think it's visual. So there's 2 up here by the boat ramp. The decision was to move the one that's on the left on the north side of the boat ramp. To move it down all the way down here. But there's already one down there. So at the last meeting, I let them know that my crew refurbed it, the one that's down there. We put new boards on it, did some structural things. So they decided that it doesn't need to go there, one that they're fine. So they said use my best judgment. So what we were thinking is put one at what everybody calls the Mile Road in the Ash area. There's a kind of like a boat ramp that goes down.
Harold has joined.
And so we had a fish feeder down there last year, so that's where we're going to put the one that we moved from up there. So then one of the new ones will go on the north side of the boat ramp, and then the other one goes right there. So it's 1.8 miles down the west entrance. I had the GPS coordinates I sent to the lake board. But there's like a pull off right here, and like a horseshoe driveway where there's a guardrail, and that's where it has pretty easy access to going down to the water's edge, and that's where
the guardrail's on past that. The guardrail, there's no guardrail right there.
Yeah.
Guardrail's right at the next one.
Oh, there's
I live right there. There's the guardrail, and the access to that is drop off right now for the.
I talked to the public works department. They're going to bring gravel
Does anybody want to make a motion?
A motion to accept what the city has already done.
Oh, okay, well,
I
okay.
don't think we need a motion.
Oh, we don't,
because
okay.
Just this is a proposal.
You already, you
It's
proposed
been
it, the
proposed
city's
to.
gonna do what they
Okay.
want, so I don't feel like we need to.
Is there anywhere else that may be a good location since you guys live out there? Is there any better spots?
Come up before the board, I don't know how many times.
Okay, this is Nancy, or I'm sorry, Deb, my bad.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Madam Chairperson today. I can find those spots.
Okay, those were, I think it was like a year ago when we brought this before the advisory board, and those were kind of the ideas that the advisory board had, so.
I see no problem with either, as long as they keep them up. I
Mhm.
know that in the past, especially those two at the front,
Mhm.
one of them floated off of the pipes that are there, and it kind of,
Okay.
it was in bad shape for quite a while, so as long as you have the ability to keep them up, I
Mhm.
think it's a great.
Yeah, I've
Which one
actually.
was that?
The south one at the loading ramp,
Yeah.
it floated over the back pipes to keep it.
Right. I was just going to ask the question. This is Mark McCoy. Has repairs been done to the boat launching dock? I'll call the one on the south side of the ramp.
So the dock itself, yeah, we went out and we've replaced some boards and put new screws in, and
Okay.
I've had the crew when we did the one on the all the way down at the end of what is that 190th.
Okay.
We fixed that one, so we're keeping an eye on them, and making sure we're taking better care of them.
Have any more cleats been placed on that dock?
They have not yet. But I
okay.
can put them on.
All right. Especially on the south side. So when you come up to dock, if someone's already there and they're on the east side of that dock, you could get a second boat there carefully if they're on the south side of that dock. It's just that we don't have appropriate cleats to properly secure your boat to the dock.
Okay.
Thank
We'll
you.
look at that.
The front of those two, there used to be a bumper type of apparatus on
Mhm.
there. There's several screws and nails hanging out of it, or used to be. And so when you would tie your boat up, it was an issue.
Okay.
Can you make sure those have been fixed, and
Mhm.
if there's a bumper that goes on the front or the sides?
Sure.
That'd be great.
If not, we'll
Thank you.
Sir, do you know that from experience?
Multiple times.
Okay, me too. But I just wanted to make sure. Get kind of antsy when you're getting up to that dock to not want to damage your $287 boat.
Is there any other discussion on this? Okay. Can we have an update on dumping behind the emergency spillway,
Okay.
Doug?
I would imagine you mean the brush pile that's back there. Okay, so we have a yearly inspection. The state comes out, inspects the brush pile, and we have a permit. So they came out, I think it was right after the last advisory board meeting for their annual inspection, and they gave us a clean bill of health, I guess you'd say, on our pile, and reissued our permit. So as long as no one dumps anything there that they're not supposed to, so it's only brush, no pallets, no trash, no bag leaves, things like that. The city commission decided to keep the pile where it is, and then my staff will just maintain it and make sure it's pushed up, and we burn it regularly and do everything in accordance with the permit that was issued.
Doug, this is Nancy.
Yep.
Does that mean that, commercial tree trimmers, anyone can dump brush there?
So technically, yes. I mean, there's no patrolling efforts that are going to be made other than maybe Tom can keep an eye, and my staff's been instructed to keep an eye on it. We're going to dissuade that, make sure that no one does dump there that's not supposed to dump there. But some of the commercial dumping that was done there was actually lake residents getting work done and instructed their tree trimmer, contractor to dump there. So it's kind of hard to police.
I'm sorry, when you say keep an eye on it to make sure, who can't dump there?
It's supposed to be for lake.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for
Residents
lake
only.
residents.
They're supposed to bring it into town. If it's other individuals, they're not supposed to be dumping out there at the lake. It's supposed to be brought into town on our city dump.
Okay,
And then the next thing on the agenda is the update on improvements to the camping area.
Okay, is that in reference to everything that the advisory board has been voted on? Okay, I will tell you that it was voted on in executive session by the commission to table most of that for now.
I wasn't at the last. Sorry, I had
Right.
COVID.
It was two
What's it?
meetings ago.
Sorry, my whole family has COVID. Yeah,
You may want to move
What-
that way.
I'm not contagious.
I'm sorry. Did you say there was discussion in executive session
Yes,
on updates to the park?
to the camping area and the improvements at the lake.
And that is an executive session item how?
They,
Is an executive session for personnel?
There's a number of
there's
reasons. They're right
a
here.
number of reasons on that yellow paper.
So they tabled everything?
That is the only thing, it was, being that it was the executive session, that's all I can say. I mean,
Fall under at least 4 items that have
Trade secrets.
trade secrets.
Yes.
No.
Financial affairs.
Yeah.
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 so
that's-
I can go beyond that and say that most of the improvements that we are doing right now is we had the pavilion power washed, we had gutters installed on it, and we plan on painting the pavilion once the weather's nice. I've had the crew go out and they've been putting dirt around the picnic tables to have the concrete on them that are like 2 feet high. So we've kind of done some dirt work out there. We've done some brush work, things like that.
So will this be readdressed at the next board meeting?
I will
Is it
br-
on the agenda?
I will bring it up.
Is it?
Yes, Katie said she would bring it up.
Yeah, that's interesting. Again, lots of recommendations from our board for the priority of items. The commission reprioritized the items. From the very beginning, the direction of the commission was that the money was to be spent for improvements to the park. I'm not sure how it got detailed, especially in the executive session.
I
Can't answer that.
Nobody.
I know you can't, but
So we'll just address this at the next meeting then, hopefully.
If we ask Katie, maybe she will figure out how this got into executive session and how they're gonna move forward with it.
that would just be fabulous, Katie. I didn't realize Katie had joined us. I'm having real breakup hearing that every third word. But Katie, thank you so much. for
You're welcome.
joining.
Nancy, is there anything like priority that you guys want to see done? I know we've talked about the shower house buildings. We've talked about,
Water and electric.
yes, that getting trenched out there. I'm trying to go through my head.
Yeah, Doug has the priority list. We've only given
I have a few.
What was the first priority? I haven't been to the last meeting. I don't remember what the first priority was.
And we don't have the notes from the last meeting at this point.
Nancy, by chance, do you remember that?
I think, they did reshuffle, but it was, bathroom.
Bathrooms. I think we're,
Fixing up the shelter house was number one, I think. And then bathroom, so that means water. And then I think it was out at the primitive camping, getting that ready, which would, doesn't require a great deal of expenditure supposedly.
Where are
Primitive.
we were looking at the building, seeing if we need to totally demolish it because of the flooring.
Different building.
Yet totally different building.
Yeah,
I think
you're-
we were getting some quotes
You're
for that.
talking about Gun Park.
Okay, I'm switching back and forth. We're trenching out there though.
Are we trenching?
That was the next step would have been utilities.
Right.
I got quotes from Roll Water to bring a water set. I got quote from the Heartland Electric about dropping a meter, and then where we went from that.
I'll get an update for you, Nancy.
Katie says she will get that information for you, Nancy. For
And
us.
did I hear that was put on hold? Did I hear that from Doug? I'm so sorry.
He said that the commission tabled it for now.
All right.
I do have a list of priorities. Can I have
Yeah,
that?
I believe that
I'll
was
get a copy of it.
two or three commission meetings ago.
Doug, where are we at on the parking issue we had, with the emergency spillway?
Good question.
That was an issue that kind of died when
Dirt, put on the dam?
when Kelly left.
Oh.
That was he was running that as far as, you know, petitioning off or cordoning off the spillway. And after
That's
Kelly
with
left,
the
I haven't-
signage and the
Yeah, signage
ropes
and
and
stuff,
stuff.
yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Well, we were told that there was gonna be no more parking in the emergency spillway, and so that's when I think somebody went up to the top, cut some dirt.
that was my crew, yeah.
For some thought that we would have to park there down the road, and so I was just curious where they are with that.
Looking it up.
And if I'm not mistaken, there was some gravel that was placed into the spillway area to smooth out some of those deep ruts.
Yep, that was my crew did that.
Great. And would you say that's, you know, been repaired to a level that's acceptable now for people to drive in and
As
out?
far as I know, yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of those things. We did that a while ago, and
Yeah.
that was brought up of whether we should park there or not. I know the state suggests that we don't. That was part of their, you know, they suggest nothing in the emergency spillway, but
There's probably 3 movies that Hollywood has made that would be examples of what it would take to do that. And to me, it would be a cataclysmic, or another, you know, I was just watching last night something on television that showed a tsunami in Santa Monica, California. So I grew up there, and the likelihood of that would have to have exceeded Fukushima, because the distance from the water level to where they were showing on there, a height is about 300 feet in just height. So that's.
So are you indicating that you don't think anybody would be parked there that day if we had that kind of issue?
No, not at all. They wouldn't be parked there. They wouldn't be on the lake because we don't have well, it would have to be the end of the world, you know, storm. And if they're that, if they don't have that common sense to be on the lake, because typically, you know, if it gets a little windy, all of us who have boats have been out there. A good southerly wind will give you 2-foot swells to 3-foot swells, and you're immediately leaving the lake because your pontoon boat or your speedboat, you're not going to be out there towing anybody, skiers or anything, so you're leaving the lake. So no, it's to me, it's highly unlikely. The key though for that is to maintain it, because there are some folks that like to bring do donuts in there, you know, and you know, you parked your trailer there and you're like, man, boy, did they create some big ruts. But yeah, just my opinion.
Is there anything else that we need to?
Any other good discussion?
Another good discussion. Okay.
sorry. Brad Madkin just texted me and said we're not going to block off the spillway.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Brad.
He must be watching.
Yes.
And we don't have anyone in the audience for citizens' comments. So do we want, is there anything else up for discussion?
I do. This would be a question for Doug. Doug, what is the water level at right now? I mean, are we still down 4 or 5 feet?
Yeah, it's down pretty low. The valve is closed.
Yeah.
And I talked to Brad earlier today, and he said that the valve functions perfectly fine. There's no issues with it. It opened and closed, and
Great.
so.
But we're down for other reasons. I mean, you know,
Yes.
yeah.
So I mean, I would say, you know, the drought conditions that we had this summer, other than opening the valve and letting water out, we're down everywhere.
Yeah.
Do we
So-
have a plan to exercise that valve in the future so we're not stuck?
I believe the Public Works Department and the Water Distribution has a plan of exercising all the valves, and I believe that was brought up to them.
How often is that done? Do you know?
I believe monthly.
Monthly?
That would be a question for Scott Flater in the water world. My question is, Doug, are there plans, we discussed this in the past in regards to the swimming area? We will be extending the
Yes.
rope area, the roping? Okay, great.
The advisory board asked it to be extended 20 feet farther out.
Okay.
So that was the plan coming this probably March, April, when we put the swim rope out, is to extend it out.
Okay, great. Thank
Anything
you.
else? Anything else?
Can
What
I
will be
chime
the-
in too? Or?
Oh, no, yes.
Go ahead.
absolutely.
Okay. So just other things that we've been doing out. It was brought up by the advisory board about the fishing area that's just south of the boat ramp, about how it's being undermined and the concrete is hanging out. I had the city's engineer go out and look at it, and he's given me a kind of recommendation list, of what can be done, what could be done, that kind of thing. I forwarded that on to Brad for him to look at, and then,
Okay.
so I just wanted you to know that we are, looking into it.
Okay.
And then
Hey,
we,
this is Shane. Doug, did anyone, while the water's down, I know I brought this up at the same time we talked about that area that's being washed out, but the concrete for the loading ramp itself
yes.
is in pretty bad shape, and a lot of that is exposed right now.
So-
It's underwater.
At the last commission meeting, we had approval to have the Public Works Department go out and replace all the broken up concrete on the boat ramp. That was the next thing I was going to suggest. So
Oh, right.
if you've been out there here lately, those that live out there, you'll see the very large excavator sitting in the spillway. That is what that's for.
So that was for public
Okay.
use.
Sure.
No.
So they should be working on that, weather permitting, I would imagine, next week.
Okay.
So the boat ramp will be closed while they're doing it, just so everybody knows. They'll probably,
Are they gonna replace the whole concrete section?
all the concrete that is broken up that they can get to, they're going to be tearing it up, and then slightly just in front of the boat ramp, there's a big hole in the asphalt. They're going to be cutting that out and then putting concrete in its place.
Oh, great.
Okay. All right, great.
Sounds like a good plan.
Doug, this is Nancy. Would you mind sending me an email when you think that boat ramp is going to be closed, or if it is now,
Sure.
and I'll let the residents know. Thanks.
So an email will be sent out to let public know
Mhm.
when it's closed. Okay. Okay, is there anything else?
Then we just need to set the next meeting.
Yes, that's the next thing. So do you want to make it sooner than, do you want it a month, or what do you think? How soon do you think we should meet up to follow up on all of this?
Now, I think we can go to March. Does anybody disagree? I think we'll go to March.
The only thing that would matter is what Katie found out, how we move forward with if this commission would move forward would be the only thing I think that would be,
Right.
Pressing.
yes.
With the priorities that we had set out for the lake, yes.
Do you want an email? Do you want an email?
Katie said she could email us, after the meeting, just decide
That or
if we
Brad.
wanted to have a meeting in February or not.
Okay, and when is the next meeting, Katie?
For the commission? February 7th.
Okay, would it be helpful to have some members from this committee there, to support our thinking on we should be using that money where it was intended, or what is your thought?
It's whatever you guys would like to do. I think there's a few of us that are really pushing to make sure that the money is allocated to the correct location and not spent elsewhere. We're keeping a really good eye on that lake funding and making sure that's a priority, that things are getting done for you guys.
By chance, do you know what kind of funds are left that are allocated to the lake when the sales of those properties?
I don't have that with me today,
Yeah.
but we do have an idea.
I would like to know just to make sure that money is not.
The financial report that comes out every month, it is on that. And I don't have that on me though.
And I do have a list of the priorities that we had
Yeah.
presented to them. So if you need that list, I can provide that
Does
for you.
anybody mind if we decide to have a meeting after we hear from Katie?
Yeah, no, that will be fine.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I think that's the best plan.
Again, Norman, and we thank you so much for bearing it up and joining our.
You're welcome.
So we'll decide on the meeting once we hear from
Okay.
Katie. Okay.
So we're not going to schedule a March meeting. We're just going to wait to hear. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Not that it makes any difference for you folks, but I cannot attend in March on the 11th or the 18th. Just no.
Go on the record.
Yes. Yeah, and it has nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Whatever spring break is, I won't be here. Is that the week of spring break, March?
That's yes.
I won't be here. You won't be here either. No, I'm going to Colorado. That was my Christmas gift.
All right. So,
You
Okay.
looking for a motion for adjournment?
yes,
I'll
please.
make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.